So what does a typical day look like for me? First thing before 9, I usually check in with the team. I ask them what are they working on. For me, I also have a list of items that I also want to work on, and I'm just syncing in with them. Usually in the morning, I work out of my home office because that's where I do a lot of my deep thinking. In the afternoon are the times that I allocate to have meetings with the team or clients, or going out for networking. Typically that's my day.
I think I probably don't have a typical day. I feel that all of my days are quite different, but if I do think about it in more detail, there are certain tasks that do pop up a lot. So first and foremost is a quality control of all of the content that is published on ASEAN Access and its subsidiary websites, quality control of all of the services that are offered to SMEs, then liaising with all of the 40 plus partners and the developers of a website, being the liaison of the IT and technical questions, and just answering different ad hoc questions about ASEAN Access, about the website, the platform, the services, the network, everything that has to be done for all of the partners in ASEAN Access, being the portal of information, and oftentimes also just event organization, actually, from start to finish.
Typical current day, just like I'm more like a weekend person, because I am on a tourism phase, right? Because I'm running the homestay, I do the community tour. So the typical day would be, the owner of the homestay outside Bangkok, especially on the countryside. Is to kind of create more for the 5 houses that we have, from mountain home, tree house, like a bigger house for a bigger group. And it's most like, because I want people to feel at home on the countryside, like have the mountain at the back. But the typical day is also a little bit tiring to run something like as a city girl. So to really accommodate things to create things to attract more people and see the marketplace. And also, I never really forget my typical day to help the community farmer, basically how to help them to get more job at my property. So this is pretty much like typical day.
I can try to explain a normal working day in my current role, but if I'm being honest, I don't think there's honestly a typical day. I have like a love-hate relationship with the lack of structure, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. On a good day, I think that having the lack of structure allows for a ton of creativity, and I think it allows me to make things happen that I simply wouldn't be able to plan for. But on a bad day, it can be really overwhelming, and so I don't want to paint a perfect picture of life without set schedules. But yeah, to try and answer the question more significantly, there are themes. I think I do a lot of work scoping leads in person and online. I'm writing up a lot of different concepts and grant proposals and coordinating with hubs in Asia Pacific. Also, like other organizations that are partnering clients, learning diagnostics and doing kind of strength assessments for our network, and yeah, a bit of knowledge management and comms. So that's I think actually a little bit of what I do, but it varies every day on what the ratio of those things look like.
Normally, I go to office 4 days a week. Like my office is very near to the factory, so it's like the second floor of our factory. So it means that we are going to a meeting with a lot of people. Sometimes the sales team coming over, or sometimes we have day-to-day operations meeting with the factory, financing, HR. So it's kind of fun that in one place you're meeting every functions at the same time.
So I have very early mornings. I wake up very early because my university is 50 kilometers away from my home. And most universities, good universities in Thailand, are not in the city. You have to move out to travel. So it takes me about 1.5 hours to travel one way. So I leave my home very early in the morning. So by 6:30, 6:45, I'm out of the house, and I come back by 6 o'clock. So that's my working day is like, and I really enjoy it. Now, initially it was very tiring. When 10 years ago I started, I would find it very overwhelming. But then when you interact and you're there giving all the energy to students, you kind of, it makes you so alive. So that's my typical day like. And then when I get home, I also cook. Most Indian households, in spite of having help, we women initially it started with the conditioning that we have to handle the kitchen, and now it's become a habit. So I come home and I cook, and now my kids are grown up. So, but when they were younger, my day was very tough. I would come back, tough in the sense it was tiring, more tiring, and I would come back, spend a lot of time with them. Now my daughter's away, she's working. My son is, going to be 15. He doesn't need me as much. So the day has become, I think it's become more easier, and that's how I have more time for myself and to do things that I want to do, and I feel for like few causes that keeps me busy.
My typical working day would be, I would rather segregate it into timings. So it would be early morning, mid-morning to afternoon, and then sometime late afternoon to evening. That's how I segregate my day, right? So the first part of the day is very important. It's family. I have a young son, so it's more family time. I love being there around with them, cooking breakfast. And before I actually start my day, that is my physical well-being, right? That's my yoga, which I cannot miss every morning, right? And that keeps me inspired. The next is taking care of my spiritual well-being, which is a little bit of prayers and gratitude that follows. And then, of course, another part of it is also mental well-being, right? I need to learn. I need to know what's happening in the financial market. And that's what I do. I listen up, catch up on the news in the morning, and begin my day, right? So the first part of after I finish my early morning, I actually come down where I don't kickstart with client meetings right away. I have a little bit of admin stuff. But one thing I always try to do is get rid of one task that you want to do for the day. What's the most important thing that whatever happens, I need to get kickstarted on this work. Once I accomplish that, I spend about half an hour to 45 minutes to get it done. And then I start my general day, doing the admin stuff, getting things done and prepped for the meeting for the day, having confirmations. And then maybe normally I not to start my meeting before 10, but worst come to worst, sometimes I do start at 7:30 also for the first meeting. It just depends on my clients, right? But the ideal day is actually 10 o'clock. And then from 10 to 12:30, I have my meetings, my online calls going on, or face-to-face meeting. I take a short break in the afternoon, and then late afternoon, I have another 2 meetings. So it depends whether it's face-to-face or virtual. So a typical day could be 2 to 6 meetings. Just yesterday I had 8 meetings, so that was the meeting, and today I have another 5 meetings to go. So it just depends. It's seasonal, right? But an ideal day is you do a bit of face-to-face and virtual meetings, and that's something that I've kept in my daily routine even after COVID, right? So I can meet more clients, I save more time. We all know how much traffic there is on the Bangkok roads. So we need to plan wisely on the time management, right? So once my son comes back, that's the time I take a bit of break. So I spend time with him, playing with him, chatting, catching up what's happened at school. And once that's done, he goes on to do his stuff. I have another lot for virtual meetings and catching up for after work, right? And then, of course, after I'm done with all that, I end my day with a nice long walk on my own, right? And then if I do have a little bit more time and I feel like it, I might just catch up on some series, and then I end my day with a little bit of self-reflection, gratitude, a little bit of getting off, reset mode, sleep mode, and yeah, just spend a few minutes with myself, and then I'm off. The lights are switched off.
The way I schedule things is I chunk my time, into different blocks. And if I also need time to think about things or to brainstorm, I also schedule those things in. I try to give myself brain breaks, if you will, because in being in the creative field, we want to give ourselves some brain space to be able to have some wandering and imagination or observing or just doing general research so that you can get an injection of new ideas and see the world from a different perspective. One of the things that our office regularly do is have trainees in our team. The reason for that is because they bring different energy to the team, perspective, and add a newness to what we're doing, so it keeps things fresh. So that's generally how I operate.
For me, to do time management, I love to-do lists, and these might be regarded as something a bit outdated and old-fashioned these days. I actually love them. So by the end of every day, I try to make sure that I have my next day's to-do list written down, or I just add to the existing one that I never finished. This helps me keep very calm, knowing exactly what I have to do tomorrow, and helps me prioritize what I have to do. Obviously, oftentimes I get to 3 p.m. and I have never even started on the list. These days are quite often. But if I do get to work on the list, it keeps me very focused and also gives me a sense of achievement, just to motor through everything and tick things off. And I think the other time management strategy that I would use is quite simple. I picked it up many years ago actually. I answer to all emails, and I do any ad hoc task that takes 2 minutes or less. So if it takes 2 minutes or less, I'll do it right away. This way nothing piles up and then potentially ends up taking much more time in the end.
Normal working day, I always use this kind of technique and tool which may be suited to your daily work as well. The first one is I will normally planning my time ahead. Like I set up my schedule. Like in the morning, I will spend an hour to answer email, and I will pick the most important one first, and then spend some time for others email. And in afternoon sessions, I normally spend with my team, or maybe with visiting the customer outside the office. And every day for 6 p.m. I will spend for my time, like my personal time, do some exercise, reading a book, and during exercise, I will review the whole day that I spent, anything that I need to call or follow up, and what I will do tomorrow. That's repeat and review the whole process again. And if you have any idea pop up during your diving home, or you do some exercise, I would recommend you to use a voice recorder. Then you can easily listen and remind you to do on the next day. This is the first technique that I use every day. And the second, I prefer to use like Outlook calendar and SharePoint. For Outlook calendar, I will share my calendar with my team. Then they will know that what time I will be available for them to come and discuss. Or if they would like me to join or participate with the current visit, I can be available for them. And for SharePoint, we have the one channel that we can look at the details of the presentations, or maybe quotations, or any project on hand, and we share and we put the comments, and we can send everyone on the same time. This is a good choice for me as well. And the third one is the perfect for me. I will set up 5-day morning talk for 15 minutes with my team every week. It no need to be like a review on our job only, but we will come and spend some time together for 15 minutes. We may talk about what they are doing now, what their movie that they like, what kinds of the problem that they got, It could be personal, it could be related to job, and then we have the time to like laugh and smile together. Our team is closer, and they will be like eager to share what is going on in work as well. I think it's good.
Time management, I come from a city which really educates people on time management. I come from Mumbai, so we have a very deep sense of good time management. So in Mumbai, even if there are trains, local trains to go from one place to another. So the train is like 8:26 and the next train will be 8:31. That's the time sense we are brought up with. So to be punctual yourself, first thing is to be punctual by yourself. If you've decided to leave the house at a particular time, you must leave the house at that particular time. And to have a flow during the day and stick to it. And the biggest time management issue comes when you have the free time. And that is where you need to cut the clutter. And this is what I believe in. So prioritize, be focused to what you want to do and how you want to spend your time. So some days you will have more work, some days you will have less work. So if you cut the clutter, which is unnecessary, your time management will just flow very organically.
Yeah, one thing I love about the work that I get to do right now is when when I get to think really laterally and have those moments where I get to be creative and innovative, and just be able to especially integrate different passions and different projects into something more, like be able to pull those things together. I think this sort of happened recently where some connections from some of my advisory work with women entrepreneurs in Thailand turned into a proposal that I'm working on with Impact Hub. So it just kind of it's really cool when it pays off to have been able to make that, it's like you don't know when you're originally networking that something like that's going to happen. You just are in that moment of hope, and it's so cool when that pays off.
Yes, and my specific moment that I really like is the 15 minutes Friday morning talk with my team, because I feel like it's not only work, but we share other things together. It's between the line that we learn each other, and they know that if they have any problem, this is a safe zone for them to share, and when they energetic, they have their power. So the feeling to talk with our customer, to talk with team member, it would be like, I feel like it's great for the team. And collaborations, I think a collaboration between our team member is the fuel to our corporate achievement. When they achieve in their work, they will have the power to hand on to their family member, and their family will earn some that energetic, and we are together.
On the daily basis, I try to motivate people, because when we have the challenging target of the sales, especially in Q4 of this year, so a lot of projects are going on, because we also sell the product directly to the project owner. So it means that sometimes every end of the year is like the peak season, because everyone have to finish their projects. And sometimes also the factory also have a lot of problems, because we not only do domestic market, we also starting export market, and each country they have the different requirements. So the challenging job is how to comfort the team and to facilitate them to work together more smoothly and not so much fighting, because the sales, marketing, and production team, the factory team, they always fight because everyone wants to get their product into the market, right? So we have about 15 persons in the sales team, so it's kind of try to balance both team and then ensure that they can work together.
So regards to what I just, end with my answer of the typical days. So the chaotic things, I would say it's not really chaotic. One is the chaos happen in life. I'm always just have my own things to say. You have to be really patient. You have to have conscious, and you have to analyze. Everywhere you go. I work overseas, and then I have to analyze people it's from like Scandinavian country and all this. So chaos is everywhere. The chaotic things that's happened to me. I think mostly about just the irrigation system when you work on the outside. Even I have a homestay in Thailand or mountain. Work with the municipality, work with the district office, and how to provide the water regularly, or how to consume the water, how to build up, like all those equipment to accommodate, the number of the water we have to, make people who's going to stay at the homestay living like very happy, instead of, build up like beautiful things. And then, the other software is not there. So I think the other thing is running the software on the countryside, and also working with the people in the community. But don't forget they are farmers. They are very much like the main, like when you say like at the back core of your body. So they are like the main core of the country, as Thailand is agricultural, more like business in Thailand. But they also, some of them, they're not educated, but they have a good heart. They are very smart about what they produce. So mentality, to fit the mentality as a city girl to the local community, is sometimes it gets chaotic. But I also want to manage myself to work with them and, to bring some benefit to them as well.